Well guys, welcome back to the channel. Tonight is a wee bit of a mash-up of things that I want to talk about and want to show you. As you can maybe see behind me, I have my new rig supplied by Model Tune of Portadown, who kindly invited me to race with the Model Tune race team. When I say supplied, I paid for it. I'm not a sponsored team driver in any way, shape or form by anybody. Anything that I get, I buy from the guys and they look after me. So if you're from the UK or in fact anywhere, check out their website, modeltune.com. Some fantastic gear there for the racing, for crawlers, all the rest of it. But anyway, that's not what the video's about. As you may be aware, if you follow the channel, I'm a bit of a Tekno fanboy. But Model Tune have changed brands. They used to be a dealer for Tekno. They're not anymore. And they've started to do Mugen. And that's what that is there. That's the Mugen MBX8 Eco, the team edition. I got it last week and started the build on Monday. Took me about 14 hours on Monday to build it up. And last night I spent about 4 hours painting the body shell. What do you think, guys? Quick job, bit of masking tape, couple of rattle cans, boom, done. And this evening what I want to do is just finish soldering a few wires and hopefully get it up and running, ready for the weekend for its maiden race, I suppose, up at Northern Ireland Model Car Club on the Astro track. So I'm just going to get a bit of a shakedown and see how it handles. And what I intend to do is compare it back to back with the Tekno EB48.2. So we shall see how I can. I'm pretty dialed in with the Tekno, and interesting to see if I can just jump straight onto the Mugen and see if I can come anywhere close or better. Who knows? We shall see. But a few differences to talk about between the Tekno and the Mugen as regards to build quality and what I thought. And again, this is just my personal opinion. Really, for the past maybe 3-4 years that I've been running the Tekno stuff, I have no issues to complain about. I've only had a couple of breakages. Well, not really me, more Ellie has, and that was down to bad driving. It was real bad smack when she was racing into a post and stuff like that, and cracked gearbox. And even at that, I was able to do a bush fix, and she was able to finish her racing. So aside from a front gearbox and a wing mount and a rear gearbox, over the past 4 years, Tekno has been phenomenally tough. And yeah, I would highly recommend them to anybody if that's what you were looking at. Really durable, lovely driving cars, easy to build. And regards to the manual, second to none. And talking about the manuals, the manual for the Mugen, I found it quite difficult to follow. If you're a newbie, you're going to struggle. But the build itself went perfectly. And some of my other videos, I would have showed you grub screws that hold the drive shafts, and the grub screw that would go onto the pinion, onto the shaft of the motor and stuff like that. I always file them flat so that you have a flat mating surface against a flat surface, and it just means you've no jiggle and less chance of grub screws coming loose. Every single grub screw on the Mugen was already machined perfectly flat, so you didn't have to do that. With the Tekno, every screw you had to wind in and out really tight into the plastic. Probably a good thing, I don't know. I was able to do this whole build but just using the MIP drivers. Didn't have to use any power tools, everything's screwed together lovely. But as regards to the manual, bits and pieces in the Mugen that it showed you that they've maybe updated. It showed you things in the manual which weren't there. They had printed sheets that you had to refer to, and even at that, things weren't right. So me being experienced in building the kits, I didn't have a problem. And I say everything screwed together like butter. Perfect build as far as builds go, but the manual definitely not on par with Tekno. Other things I noticed, the Mugen, the gears seem to be a lot beefier. The bearings seem to be a lot bigger, so maybe more durable. But in saying that, I use the Teknos and used and abused them and bashed them hard. I never had a bearing fail. I never had a gearbox, diff or pinion, and I'd never had anything actually fail on me. So yes, they may be beefier, but that's not saying the Tekno was bad. So what do you think of my paint job, guys? Anyway, me 4-hour job, so it's not perfect. Lines maybe aren't as crisp as they could be, but I just do not have the patience for a paint job. And any of you guys out there that paint RC bodies for a living, hats off to you guys. I do not know how you can be bothered with it. Yeah, stay tuned to the channel, guys. For this weekend, we're going out racing. As I mentioned before, going to test these things back to back and give you an honest opinion what I think. Difference being with the Mugen is pillow ball suspension. It's supposed to handle different turning, different on power. People are saying the Mugen wants to swap ends when you hit the throttle. It wants to oversteer, and we shall see. I don't know. Might suit my driving style, might not. But come the weekend, we're going to find out. But anyway, I'll change the camera over here and let you get a closer look at the Mugen so far. And I'm going to let you have a wee look under here and see where we are with the build so far. I'm using a Mugen billet 36 kilo servo. Those servos are available from a friend of mine who owns or works for Mugen billet. So far I've used this servo in the crawler and it's been fantastic, so we shall see what it performs like in the buggy. We're also using a Surpass Taurus 22 kV motor, which I've used for quite some time in Tekno EB48 2.0, and it's been flawless. And I have to say my favourite ESC is the XR8 SCT. It's quite a small, neat ESC. And what else? Using batteries from Model Tune. Well, I actually don't have one sitting here at the minute. I'm using some of these. I'm sort of going to use these until they're dead. They're sort of falling apart. The Centro 7600 milliamp 100C ones. But the Model Tune batteries, and I can show you one here that I have for the short course truck. That's a 6000 mAh one, but I'm running the 9000 version of these. Two of them side by side linked up as a 4S for the 1/8 scale. So I say I don't have it sitting here now. It must be packed away somewhere, but definitely check out Model Tune and check out their lipos. They are fantastic bit of kit and I've no issues with them so far. So that's what I'm going to be using to power this. So clearly, as you can see, I have no wires on, so that's what this video is going to be tonight. It's just going to be a show you quickly me soldering the wires on. I don't know what to do with this switch. It's sort of stuck on the side of this battery tray. I don't know whether it's going to stay there or not. I might try and modify that, put something underneath it, a wee bit of foam or something stuck underneath it to hold it there. Fit the battery. One other thing I need to get is an alloy servo horn. Thinking I may go for a ProTech one, and other than that, we're ready to rock and roll. So yeah, stay tuned. Don't forget, guys, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. I am trying to get the 1000 subscribers within a year. At the minute, I'm not anywhere close. I'm at like 330 subscribers or something like that. I can't do this without you guys. So make sure and stay tuned. See how the maiden voyage goes with this. The size of those beasts there for the Tekno MT410. Well, I have the extended chassis on it. We're actually going to a wee thing here on Friday night. I think I might bring that with me and try and see if I can do a few backflips put on a bit of a show for the spectators. So anyway, enough of me rambling on here. I shall get the wires out, get the soldering iron out, and see if we can get this up and running here this evening. So before you solder, well, before I solder anyway, I like to get everything that I'm going to use set out and ready to rock and roll. Now, what I have noticed is I actually don't have any male ends for the ESC. So I have found this that I'm going to use. I'm just going to desolder that and use that again. It's brand new, it's never been used, so that's not going to be an issue. So I shall do that. All the wires come from Hobbywing pre-tinned, but what I also like to do, I like that to be a bit longer, I like to add a wee bit of my own solder. I find it flows a wee bit better, because I don't know what solder they used. So, and I like to have just a little bit more wire shown. Guys, I am no expert at soldering. There's probably a lot of you guys out there watching this but better than me, but that's us about ready to rock and roll. I'll fill this up. The gas soldering iron is handy whenever you're out on track. Let's see if I can turn the light on here. It might very yellow, the light in here, but it might help to see. Hopefully it doesn't cast too many shadows there for you guys. That's us lit. We'll just give that a few minutes to heat up. I'll cut myself a couple of lengths of solder. Solder has been sitting a while out here and it's oxidized slightly, so I think for a better joint, and not the kind that you smoke, guys, just clean a bit of the oxidization off. Clean the end. Once it's heated up, I have a wee wire brush and find some way of holding all your wires. Makes it a bit easier. That's us ready to, you have to ensure, keep cleaning the tip. What I do is add a little solder onto the soldering iron because it helps conduct heat. And just feed a little solder. You can see that soaking in lovely. So one side of the wire is done. I flip them over. Do the same on the other side, and then we will do the same thing to the motor and the ESC. See how quickly things start to oxidize. And we're ready to go again. Dab of solder. And that's those wires all ready to go. Well, I'm saying that I'm probably going to have to shorten these wires, but I don't know what ends I'm going to use, so they're ready to go anyway. What I'll probably do is solder them on, find out the route, cut them to size, strip them, tin them, and then put them on. But same thing again for desoldering. That just picks right off. While I'm at it, just add another blob of solder, maybe a wee bit more. Actually, what some guys do is plug. Things can get quite hot and melt, so plug the other end in. It helps the pins hold their shape. And that's that ready. To accept the wires when we go to plug that in, just make sure you do the right side, but I'll not get mixed up because I haven't got that tinned. So what we'll do is get the car up here. You always want to keep your tip clean, guys and girls. And the posts on the motor. I'm going to use the 3 coloured wires for A, B and C. I have no idea, guys. I don't know what particular colour goes to what, but this is a centred motor, so you have to put A has to go to A, B to B and C to C. So let's start with the ESC here and see what we can do here. This is normally where I get my fingers burnt. That's the first time I've ever soldered them straight up and down like that. I normally do them across the way, but I think it just makes more sense. So that is C. I always like to leave a little bit of room to slide the motor in and out. Yeah, I'm going to cut them, at least that one there. Guys, this is a race rig, not a showpiece, although you do like it to be pretty neat. So we just need to tin these wires again. So let's start with A first of all, which is here. last but not least, C. Guys, and that should be the motor wires all done lovely. So you're left with the battery side to do, so that will go in there. Clean your tip. Look guys, look at the oxidization on that. I do have this wee thing. That's, for me, it's not ideal. That wee wire brush does a better job, or I have a wee damp sponge as well. I might have too much solder on to put this on. Maybe I'm, as I say, no expert, never really used these. But it's on, yo. Neatens it up a bit. Right, I don't mind having a wee bit extra, in case you maybe have to put a battery this way. We can always hide a bit of cable. That length would be perfect, same as last time. Body fits perfectly how it should. Right, we're back in a minute. What we need to do now is disconnect this servo horn, because we don't know if this, excuse me, we don't know if this servo was centralized, and I need to fit the receiver and go and get my transmitter and bind that to that, and then fingers crossed we're good to go. Okay, so back again. Have Futaba receiver to fit, and the sensor cable to go from the ESC to the motor. Retro OXO cube tins. Who remembers OXO cubes? And I think this is the program card for this. This goes into the fan port. We can neaten all that up later on. Let's get this turned on. When I switch this on, that's neutral. So everything, all your trims all set to 0, nothing touched. That's neutral. Full throttle. Full brakes. That should be calibrated. Right, now at this point we shall turn this off, plug in this box again. Oh, that's us now. Right, so black goes that road. Hobbywing connecting. Running mode, forward and brake, yes, that's what we want for for racing. LiPo cells, auto calculate, we're always going to be on 4S. Cutoff voltage. Let's see, 12, let's go 12.4. That leaves us at 3.1 volts per cell, which is low, but for racing I don't want to be caught out. Isn't that right? 3.1, 6.2, 12.4, right. That's quite low, but we shall go for that. ESC thermal, disabled. Motor thermal, disabled. Counterclockwise, BEC, 7.4. Brake force 50%. Reverse force doesn't matter. Punch level 5. I'm going to go for 3, but I don't need it to be insane. Drag brake 0, coast, neutral range. I have a bit of a twitchy finger, let's go with that. Full censored, 0. And that's us. That will do for initial settings. Does the fan kick in? Yes. Or the wheels straight at that. Right is right, left is left. Next thing to do, guys, is set end points on the steering, because we don't want to put the steering servo under strain. Does it all fit on? Bingo. There we have it, guys. Yes. Ready to rock and roll. Well, guys, that's it for the night. Hope you enjoyed the video. I cannot wait to get this out on track. And as much as I love my Teknos, I'm kind of hoping that this makes a better driver of me now. Whether it will or not, I don't know. So make sure and stay tuned to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell button so you get notified when I upload a video. And yeah, give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. And all been well, see you at the weekend when we get this out. And fingers crossed, it gives me better lap times. Until then, see you next time. Bye bye.